Welcome, everybody, to this special edition of a LifeVantage overview, where we will be introducing stories of those in the healthcare industry and why they made the decision to partner with LifeVantage. My name is Christy Bode. I'm from Colorado, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to just join us today, whether it's live or watching the replay. We ask that you take the next 30 minutes that we're going to be speaking, maybe a little bit longer than that, to focus on you and your health, because so often we hear, one of these days, I'm going to stop being so busy and pay attention to my health. One of these days. And often, guys, one of these days never comes, or it's too late. So just please set aside all distractions and focus on you and your health and what you want, what changes you want to make in the future. So we here in LifeVantage, we're all about activation. We're actually leading the way in activating our bodies to function and perform more optimally. I have been in the medical aesthetics industry for over 26 years. And early on, I realized that it doesn't matter how beautiful one's skin is. If their bodies start breaking down at age 60, 65, then they have to live another 15, 20 years or more with a poor quality of life. So I actually started my own medical practice years ago doing cosmetic dermatology and then disease prevention, like helping people change their diet and lifestyle to lower risk for disease and have a better quality of life. I did end up losing the business due to a failed partnership, but thank goodness I just stayed open-minded, I stayed positive, and LifeVantage entered my life. And I knew that this was a perfect vehicle for me to continue sharing my passion for beauty and wellness, all while creating a leveraged income. So you're going to hear more stories coming up from some really special guests. So we know, you may or may not know, but oxidative stress, the root of inflammation, is the root of all disease. It affects every organ and system in our body. Oxidative stress happens naturally as we age, but now more so than ever. You guys, since the Industrial Revolution, we in the United States have been exposed to 85,000 more chemicals, not 8,500, but 85,000 more chemicals. It's everywhere, right? So very simply, these toxins enter our body. They create free radicals, which attack our cells. That attack on the cell is called cellular oxidative stress, like rusting of the cell. It's the root of inflammation. But did you know that our cells have their own defense mechanism where they kick out antioxidants? I can never say this without going like this with my finger, but they kick out antioxidants to neutralize the oxidative stress. But our poor little cells just can't keep up with that. As we age or as we have a higher toxic burden, everybody has oxidative stress. And our cells just can't keep up with that. So our hero formulation, Protandim Nerf 2, is a little plant-based pill that we take once a day, and it actually activates our cells to make antioxidants 24/7. It's not magic, guys. It's not snake oil. It's just activating our bodies to do what it normally does when it's young and healthy. And it lowers our oxidative stress. So it gives our body the opportunity to function and perform more optimally. If you go to PubMed, which you see right here in this picture, go to pubmed.gov, you can search oxidative stress and any health concerns that you may have, and you're going to see the relationship between the two. If you have not had a chance to watch this ABC Primetime Investigative Report, please do so. Please ask the person who invited you to this meeting to send it to you. So this hero formulation, Protandim Nerf 2, was formulated in 2003. It was on retail shelves such as CVS Pharmacy and GNC Pharmacy. And in 2005, John Quinones of ABC Primetime Investigative Report went to go interview the doctor and really debunk the theory. That's what they do in those shows, photos, right, to debunk the theory that this little yellow activator actually reduces oxidative stress. So John Quinones in this program, he takes Protandim for 2 weeks. And then after those 2 weeks, he gets his blood drawn again and his oxidative stress levels went down 45%. Well, this was a catalyst that spawned other universities and institutions to do their own self-funded studies on Protandim. So keep in mind, it's not LifeVantage, the company that makes Protandim and our other products, that paid for these studies. These are third-party studies, and you can see right here the institutions that actually put their own money into these published studies. It's crazy, like American Heart Association, Harvard University, Ohio State, National Institutes of Aging studied Protandim for 10 years, you guys. So this is the reason that we have so many healthcare professionals part of our company. It's all about the science. So once our company figured out activation, they created 2 more Protandim products, one to address mitochondrial function and one to address our sirtuin activity, NAD synergizer. Then the most recent activator is our True Science liquid collagen. If you guys have already been taking some type of collagen out there, put in the chat and let us know if you've been taking a collagen. It's huge right now. It's a big buzzword, right? Everybody wants collagen. But we know there's thousands of different types of collagen out there. You know, they come in powders and creams and pills and broth. But how do we know if it's really working, and how do we know like really what's in it, like the ingredients? There's lots of junk and lots of fillers out there in other collagens. But what if I told you that there's actually a collagen out there that activates our own body's natural collagen making processes? Well, there is, you guys, and it happens to be the LifeVantage liquid collagen. It activates our collagen production as well as replenish and maintains our collagen. So our bodies are made up of 28 different types of collagen. Collagen lines our guts, our eyes, our brains, our intestines, our joints, our ligaments. Most collagens on the market contain 1 to 2 types of collagen, but our liquid collagen contains 10 types. So you're not only going to see the difference on your skin and hair and nails, but you're going to feel the difference in your guts, your joints, your ligaments, your tendons. It's really important, you guys, to take lots of before photos before taking our collagen or any other product for that matter, because your body will change and it changes over time. And so often we forget how we felt or how we looked after activation. So this right here is why we want you to take lots of photos. So these are real people, guys, that have been taking the collagen. This is our friend Betty at day 1 and day 120 and 5 months later after taking the liquid collagen. And look at the arm photo. I mean, you just can't get these results from in-office procedures. It's really amazing. Our body, our skin is a telltale sign of what's going on in the inside, right? So when you're getting these results on the outside, it just means that we are really healthier and on the inside, excuse me. So this is a snapshot of our LifeVantage family of products, all designed to work in synergy in your body to affect every organ and system and provide optimal health and well-being and slowing down the aging process. We're in all of these different types of categories. So this really, if you're business savvy, this is why so many of us chose to partner and to create a business with LifeVantage. So we are leading the way in activation. There's no other company out there with the products that are activating our own natural processes like our company. And we've got all the science, all the studies, right? There's 60,000 US consultants, so a lot of room for growth. We're looking for more people to partner with us to really spread the word of activation. We're headquartered in Utah, publicly traded, so everything we say is clear and transparent. We're debt-free, that's huge. We've got an enhanced comp plan for the next generation of entrepreneurs. So you can earn additional revenue by just sharing the product. You don't have to create a team, but you absolutely can. So it really is for this day and age of entrepreneurs. It's all about social selling and leveraged income. I mean, when I owned the clinic, if I wasn't at the clinic seeing patients every day, then I wasn't earning money, or I wasn't, helping somebody with their life and their health. But now I can travel the world. I can do all this on Zoom. I can go visit our 7 grandkids. We've got 4 kids and 7 grandkids. So I can go visit them and work this business and help people from my cell phone. It's turnkey. We have no assets or inventory. And the culture and community, starting with the corporate team all the way through our LifeVantage family of consultants, is absolutely amazing. They're, our second family. And then we travel and go to conventions with them. And we have a really good time because we're all serving others and really leading with our hearts. So it's now my pleasure to introduce some special people in the health industry to share their stories and why they said yes to partnering with LifeVantage. So our first guest is Dr. Nancy Bryan. She has a BS in pharmacology and is a doctor of pharmacy, a master's in molecular biochemistry, veterinary and human medicinal and nutritional formulator, certified diabetic educator, certified geriatric counseling, certified in veterinary, zoo, and human compounding, nutrigenomics educator, pharmacogenetics educator, and on our LifeVantage Science Advisory Board. Woo, that was a mouthful. And this girl, she's amazing. She's obviously very, very smart and loves school. So Nancy, please, we'd love to hear your story.
Oh my gosh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Christy, stop the screen share too, so we can see her.
Hello, everybody. So nice to be here. I'm so humbled and honored to be here. I love what you're doing. It absolutely, absolutely warms my heart. And thank you. I know that's just a ridiculously long resume. Sorry about that, but I'm old. I got a chance to do lots of things. And I'm so excited to be here. First and foremost, as she said earlier, I'm a doctor of pharmacy, doctor of pharmacology, but my passion has always been molecular biochemistry. I was that weird girl that always loves science and chemistry and just weird things, right? Well, that brought me to my pharmacy license. And early on when I was working, I was so passionate about making a difference for people. That's why I went into diabetes area. I worked for a pharmaceutical company, one of the first female sales reps for a company that focused on diabetes. And I was very passionate about it. But unfortunately, what I saw early on was that the medications, while they did have a place, they weren't helping people get back to wellness. So I was always passionate about looking and had started utilizing a lot of the knowledge I had from pharmacy school called pharmacognosy, which is understanding plant parts and what they do in our body. So fast forward, I ended up being involved in owning a compounding pharmacy for animals and people and doing all kinds of things. One of the main things I did not do, though, I took care of my health so well, but I didn't manage stress. And I love what Christy put out there when she showed that oxidative stress, how that affects our body so much. And what ended up happening is I ended up with a really, really, really bad health issue. And as a result of it, it was something I had several surgeries for and lots of treatments for. And I was alive, but I wasn't living. And I was so grateful because there was someone that was a dear friend of mine. He was a surfer, not a scientist, but a surfer. And he brought to my attention that ABC video that you just saw mentioned a little bit earlier. And when I saw it, it caught my attention, but I'm still thinking to myself, okay, yeah, that's fine. But, okay, what else? And then he showed me the LSU study, one of those studies that was shown on there. And as a medical professional, I understood and knew the whole background of researching and explaining stories to doctors through studies and helping them understand those. I had never seen any on nutrient products in America. We'd see them out of China or out of some other places, but to see it from LSU and then to see it on a patented product, I have to tell you, that caught my attention. And then when I saw what it was about a gene I had a problem with. So fast forward, I decided to try the product. It made a huge impact in my health, amazing impact, enough that it caught the attention of my doctor. My doctor redid my lab test because he couldn't believe what he saw. And the bottom line was, you know what? My health improved so much. I was alive again. I was living, I was active. And I was like, now I have a moral obligation. So why I said yes to this was, first, not to do a business, not to have any part of this, but to get better. But when I did, and I did so in such a dramatic fashion, I felt obligated that I needed to be able to continue my mission of making a difference for other people. And so that's when I really got involved in the company. And one thing that I just want to mention is that when I started looking at the studies, the thing that impacted me as a pharmacist, pharmacologist, is one of the reasons that pharmaceuticals took over from the 50s and 60s, much over nutrients, was that it was very difficult to make nutrient products very consistent with results. Because when we have plants that are grown in different environments and different soils and different sun and different rain and all the things that can impact them, back in the day, it was hard for them to get consistent studies with consistent results with nutrients. So with pharmaceuticals, they synthetically made them over and over and got that consistent result. When I saw the study at LSU, that's what blew my mind. Of course, being nosy, I called the company. I wanted to know, okay, you're being allowed to say you reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days over and over. How are you taking 5 plant parts from all over the world and knowing that consistency to get that result over and over? And they showed me the technology of it and what they do and how they ascertain the raw ingredients and what they check. And they take the sweet spot and they know, and then they retest over and over, and then they send it out to independent people. So when you get our product and it says it's reducing oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, it is. And when you're in the health field, that we have to depend on that consistency. So for me, that was one of the biggest whys why I got involved with this company doing this, because I knew what I could trust. Be careful what you wish for, though. Fast forward, now I'm on the science board. So that was a good thing too. But the biggest thing is I wanted to be able to help make a difference for people, not from a perspective of reactive recovery, not waiting till you're sick and then trying to work backward, but to be proactive wellness and activating our body from the cell out. And so how I utilize it within my practice at this point in time is, amazingly, I have so many people come to me that have already gone to all kinds of doctors and all kinds of health solutions to their problems, and they have not gotten to where they want to be. I ask people all the time, the number one question I ask for my patients, clients, whatever you want to call them, is, what are you struggling with the most? Because I can't really help them pinpoint until I really know what they're thinking. I might see something or have an idea, but for me, I want to hear from them. And so once they tell me what I love, I go back to the same way I started. I show them our video of John Quinones, and then I take them to our site and I let them take a look at the health issues they're telling me about. I have them look at that health issue on our site and they can see what products we have, and then I help answer questions. The other thing that I like to do is I like to make sure that, you know what, I love the fact that in the past, whatever I did was this for this and this for this drug for that thing, this drug for that thing. And now what I'm doing is helping somebody optimize their own health, let their body figure out what it is that it needs to start working on. And when we allow that to happen, it makes a huge impact. So that's pretty much how I incorporate it in. And then I help send them to our site, and I help them to select what it is that's helpful. And I never stop there. I always say, you know what? I know that I think you're going to see a huge impact in your health. And who do you know? You're going to know other people with the same issue. Wouldn't you want to help them too? So you know what? Let's see where you are. But if you want to share this with others, I can help you with that too. And so pretty much I've moved from being the RX by design expert to now the wellness by design, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh, thank you. That was wonderful, Dr. Nancy Bryan. You know, I like what you said, and I can totally relate about feeling obligated. Once you understand how these products are working and taking a preventative measure, helping people feel so good that it's almost a disservice not to really share. And it's just such a more fulfilling practice when you're practicing prevention than helping people like treat a disease, right? So,
Mhm. Yeah, and one last thing I want to say, it's been amazing to me how many people I've been able to really help as the body optimizes itself. They naturally are not needing as much medication, and their doctors will work with us, and it's been amazing to see that happen.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you for saying yes. We're very grateful for that. So our next doctor speaker is Dr. Jessica Bueller. She's married to Matt. She has 5 children and owns her own chiropractic business in rural central South Dakota. She has her doctorate in chiropractic and additional certifications in acupuncture and NAET. She is intentionally curious and always looking for ways to improve health naturally. So, Dr. Jessica Bueller.
Hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So the magical question, and I always feel like when you ask a physician group, you kind of get some overlap. And so I feel like maybe Nancy stole some of my thunder, but I'm gonna, give me my version of my story, right? So definitely, I feel like there is a moral obligation to share things that can help someone, and I felt that as soon as I finished reading a few of the studies. So the 2003 study with our lead scientist being a Nobel Prize winner and showing that we could reduce oxidative stress on average 40% in 30 days. That was unheard of at the time and has still been unheard of with anything, you guys. It's so impressive when you really look at that. And then the second study that literally blew my mind was done by a drug company, and it was in an MS population, and they studied our Protandim in comparison to Tecfidera. And they found that they both are NRF2 activators, and they both provide protection to oligodendrocytes, the basic cell of the nervous system. And I'm a chiropractor, you guys. That is crazy. And how many patients do you think I know that have struggles with things that affect their nervous system? Like a lot, right? A lot. And that study found that Protandim was the most potent inducer of that pathway, better than the drug that they created. And that drug is still on the market for $54,000 for a 3-month supply. So that was huge. A cardiologist on my team told me that the study that was in the Journal of the American Heart Association Circulation, it was the first time a natural product had ever been featured in that journal. I mean, I was reading study after study. I was trying to debunk it. I read through the studies, and when I got done reading the studies, I said to myself, if this is real, I have got to share this with other people. And if I'm 100% honest, my story even starts before that, because I lost one of my friends way too soon. And I can bet that there are a few of you out there that have one more person that you wish you might be able to share this information with. And she was my one more, but she was something, the reason why I understood the science so well. I remember on my knees in prayer, and you probably know somebody too who's on their knees in prayer, looking for something stronger, something better, for a miracle, for a technology that is unlike anything they've ever heard. And this was an answer to that prayer, not in time for her, but in time to bless other lives. And so I definitely think the science is sexy. And I think every physician will tell you they fell in love with the science, and that our science is sexy. And when I say it's sexy, it is way better than anything you're going to find with any other company marketed in any industry. But I think it also comes back to results. And we can't talk about conditions, symptoms, or disease. And I don't really even want to talk about that, because that's not what I treat. I treat humans. And I look to get to the level of the cell. And if we can fix the cell We're going to have healthy cells that make healthy tissues, that make healthy organs, that make healthy organ systems, that make healthy humans. And if we just look at the end all of the time, we forget to get to that basic level. And when we look at that basic level, that's where we see all the amazing changes unfold. If you can fix the cell, you can fix a lot of things. So I don't have to talk about what we're treating, because we are back to treating humans. But I could list off things here, would be totally non-compliant of things that I've seen. But the really the love of that, you guys, is when they come into your office or they give you that text and you've made a real difference in their lives. And I can tell you that I saw that with a newborn baby and her mama having an activated pregnancy that was not possible for her before that. I can tell you with somebody who was in low back pain, intense low back pain for 4 years before she came to me. And it's not just something that I say to make a buck. I can make a buck doing a lot of things, you guys. I can make more money in my office, right? But it is about getting people results. And I think these products, when you get on them, you'll see we have an 80% retention rate. That means 8 out of 10 people never stop taking it. Why? Because it's getting results. So I think we got to look at why we stick around, why we join in the first place, and the fact that it just keeps getting better. I wasn't excited about our collagen activator. I was not, until I realized it was an activator too, and saw what it could do in the body. And I cannot wait to see the study that they did not release to us, because they're getting a patent, because I can guarantee you that it will be big. But there's just something about this company and the people that you're working with, the people you get to do life with. And I'm reminded too of, in my office, I go to work and I can impact people one by one by one by one. But when I do this business, I make ripples. I can teach anyone to do what I do with this business. And my impact is so much farther reaching than what I can accomplish in my office. It has given me freedom in flexibility. I owned my own business. I still do. I had a waiting list practice. And the second part of my unanswered prayers was this business. And I was not looking for network marketing with that prayer. I can guarantee you that. I was on my knees and I literally said to God, all right, I've got 4 babies that are healthy. I have a waiting list practice. I have a husband who loves me. I have a great relationship with God. And I remember saying to myself, if this is success, I don't want to be successful. Like, give me something else. Give me something more. So I did have changes with my own body. My hair was my biggest transformation, but several other things. And I know I'm probably past my time limit. I was really concerned about keeping this to 7 minutes, and I did practice, Angie. But there's testimony after testimony. You're going to hear more of those. But I really just think you got to find your people. You got to do life with people that bring you joy, that you look forward to seeing, and really look to see how you can serve and grow and be a better human, not just on the cellular level, but in all of the ways. And I think this, honestly, I'm looking for one more person to help. And that is my start. But I really feel like we are all looking for those people that are praying those prayers. There is somebody who's looking for a change in their health. And there is someone who's looking for a change in what they are doing and how they show up in the world. And this was that for me.
Okay, well, that was absolutely amazing. You're not only smart, but you are adorable. I loved everything you said. And I think you coined the word now, a new term. Science is a new sexy. Hashtag science is a new sexy. That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. Speaking of sexy, I am going to bring you now a beautiful, smart nurse from Brentwood, California. She's a great friend of mine, Kat Neeson. She's a registered nurse with a bachelor's degree in science, specializing in cardiovascular and thoracic surgery for over 15 years. She loves transforming people's health so they can have a better quality of life, and enjoys learning how beneficial activation is to improving health overall. So can't wait to hear from you, Miss Kat Neeson.
Well, thank you for having me on here. Thank you, everybody, for just taking the time to listen to us and just kind of get some details and see if all this information is a great fit for you. So very much like Dr. Bueller and Dr. Brian, I wasn't really looking for another business. I wasn't looking to do network marketing or any of that kind of stuff. LifeVantage just kind of found me. It was in about 2019 when my mom was struggling with some health issues. And long story short, it pretty much transformed my mom's life and my own. And I was like, what the heck is this stuff? You know, when you find something that you really love, you really can't shut up about it. And that was me. And as a nurse, you know, we take an oath that we really want to help people. We want to make a difference in someone's life, and we really want to give them the best quality of life. But we are very skeptical people when it comes to being nurses, to physicians, to healthcare providers. You need to show us the facts. It's like Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Is this real or is this not? And so that's exactly what I did. Same as the other ladies, I dug deep and I found American Heart Association studies. I found Northwestern University studies, which is where some of my cardiologists have gone to college, Harvard, Ohio State, 32 published peer reviews, meaning they took that product and studied it and figured out what it did to different things and for people's different health. Am I glitching a little bit here? Can you guys all hear me? Okay,
You're good.
Okay. So what I have noticed is just by offering someone a different way to help with their health, you know, the transformations that I have seen really are just at my heart. I didn't join for the money. I joined because I want to help people. And as a nurse, that's our job. I just want to give people the best shot in this life. And it's really deep in my heart. And so when people are struggling, they're sometimes not themselves. I had a lady text me just last week, and she told me that when she started LifeVantage products, she didn't realize how awful she felt until she realized what normal felt like. Like, I can't imagine living my life like that. I have 2 children. I want to be able to do all the things. And that's what this is allowing us. People maybe will have results in the fact that maybe whatever's going on in their body is balancing out. Like Dr. Brian said, you know, we're fixing the cell, we're getting down to that root. If we're reducing things, maybe this will help improve their quality of life. Maybe their illness or their disease process will be improved. Maybe they won't need to be on some of these medications. Maybe there is so many more possibilities that your body is so capable to heal, to help try to fix itself, because you're getting to that root cell. And now all the functions in your body are starting to signal more correctly. And now you feel better. So for me, I started sharing and just vomiting out to everybody, trying to help everyone I possibly can. And so my girlfriend said, you just need to join this business. And at first I told her no. And then I told her no again. And then I told her no again. And then finally I said, okay, I should be a part of this. This has all this research and the studies. You know, Aaron Brockovich is on the board. I mean, what company has that? To have somebody of that kind of status to say, you know what, this company is incredible, to have human health, to help the world live better, live healthier. So I joined, and I have an amazing team that is just spreading wellness everywhere. The transformations, the stories come in every single day. And I am just so happy to be a part of this company that is really driving the way this world needs to go, and into nutrigenomics and to healing the body. So thank you guys for listening. I really hope that I brought you a wealth of information, and just I'm so excited to be here and on this journey.
You sure did bring a wealth of information. Thank you so much. You guys are on fire tonight. Wow. Okay, last but very not least is our friend, and he's such a great inspiration. He does so much for our company, Dr. Brett Brimhall. He lives in Arizona. He's been married to Holly for 26 years. They have 4 children, and he's been in chiropractic practice for over 2 decades and training healthcare providers all over the world since 1995. He and his father have pioneered the 6 steps to wellness. As part of that system, he trains on nutritional supplements and chiropractic tools and techniques. He's got such a great story, so I'm really excited for you guys to hear from him. Dr. Brett Brimhall?
Hey, all y'all. Thanks for letting me be a part of this. It's always just so fun to be around amazing people. Appreciate all the experience that's actually on this call. And I thank you all for being here. Because what we're looking for is a lot of what I was looking for, I didn't know where to find it. I don't know if you kind of ask yourself this question, like, why are you here right now on this call? Like, what led you to this moment to be here? And for me personally, like, I spent my whole life in the teaching space and the healthcare space. I was literally born into it. And I've had a unique opportunity to train physicians for a long time, since 1995. And deep in my heart is what literally has always driven me are my failures. The people that I wasn't able to help, whether that was a family member or whether that was a patient, like that's literally what got my attention. So like what got me exposed to this company was not science. It was literally a little boy I was taking care of. I'd been treating him for over a year, doing everything I possibly knew, everything my dad and I had trained and taught on. Like, doctors sent their hard ones to me to try to help. And normally we could. And I literally was doing everything I could. His life consisted of 35 hours of therapy a week. Like that was his life. His mom and dad poured so much into this little guy because he was struggling with behavior, struggled to learn, still in preschool for the 2nd year, still didn't know his letters and numbers. And it wasn't for the fact that he wasn't practicing, he wasn't trying. He literally just couldn't retain what he's being taught. And his mom was actually part of LifeVantage. She built a business where she had the time and the resources to pour all this into her son. And what I've noticed many times in patients that I've worked with is many of them ran out of time and money. And this mom just did everything. And the company launched a product called Axial, which is this whole activation concept, but is around designed to address brain fatigue or brain activation. And 11 days into this little guy taking this, he came in and he sat still for the first time on my table. Let me work on him for a full 15 minutes. The conversation was more of a conversation. And he went back to my back room afterwards and he literally did all the things we asked him to do. I was like, I had no idea what happened. And the only change was this drink that his mom gave him. And this was, I was kind of a stubborn individual. Like I literally thought, I looked at the product for Tandem originally when someone years ago had brought me the research papers and I just looked at it, it's just not that special. I didn't even read the papers they sent to me, right? Because I'm like, well, I looked at the ingredients, it didn't look that special. And it was this little guy, like 11 days in, he gained more ground in 11 days with his brain being activated than he had a year of me working with him. But that's what I needed in order to see that there was something in front of me that God was putting in my path for me to help other people. I didn't know it was also part of a path where I would use that to help others through this business. So I actually flew to South Dakota in October, which is a bad time to fly to South Dakota, met the scientists, froze, but I heard some things that reminded me of the philosophy I'd always had, is that the brain is tired, it doesn't get better. And this was designed to break brain fatigue. So when you learn about this concept of activation, like if you're not activated, you're not living the life you could. And in my experience of training physicians and training them for over, I don't know how many years now, since 95, I don't want to count, get too old. But I've watched a lot of physicians broke and broken. Not because they didn't have a desire to help, but they literally they had to keep practicing. And what LifeVantage has allowed me to do, and it was literally because I broke my leg with a knee injury, and I thought I was gonna have to stop practicing for a while, but that wasn't an option. I didn't have a plan B in place. But that decision and that injury led me to sharing with others about what I'd seen with this little guy. This led to literally thousands of people across the world helping their kids because this kid's struggle. And I can promise you that the science is real. And that if we can get these products into people, there's a lot of people that won't struggle like they currently are. And I'm just grateful to be a part of a team of people that have that mission and that passion. But at the same time, my biggest opportunity and struggle is to be a dad, number one. And when I'm stressed or worried, and typically for me, that was financial, right? Making sure I could provide for my family. I wasn't as good a dad as I could have been. So what LifeVantage allowed me to do in 3 years of working the business and helping people all across the globe, which is you guys are all part of that. Now these stories you've heard, you've thought of somebody you know and love that needs to at least hear, because what if this is something that could impact their lives so they can live a more full life? Like that's what One More is, right? And it's all the common stories here. But for me, it gave me an opportunity to sell my practice 15 years sooner than my dad did. My dad sold his practice to me. I was his retirement plan in a sense. But it gave me an ability to be a more present father and husband, and to still live my passion, which is helping other people. So we're grateful you came on this call tonight. Please help us share this message throughout the world if it resonates with you. And we need a lot of people sharing it, because there's a lot of people that have no idea. But if something resonates with you, with someone you thought of, please get them to at least have a chance to look at these things. Because I love the background of each of the individuals, like different medical space, right? Different reasons why we got here, but we all have the same mission and passion, which is to help change this world for something that's better. So Christy, thank you for letting us be a part of this experience, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Absolutely. Your story is just so profound and so touching. So thank you. Thank you, doctors and Nurse Kat, for taking the time to share your stories. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time to watch this. Please reach out to the person who invited you to this meeting to get any other additional information that you're needing. Thank you so much and have a great night.